Hello and welcome. My name is Joshua Johnson and I'm with the Human Resources Department, and I'm going to take you through a tutorial on the annual performance appraisal that we have here. And first things first, the supervisor will fill out this top portion and then send the form to the raidee so that they can complete the career development plan, which we will explain more later. And after they give their information, the supervisor will schedule the meeting and we'll go through this. So what is the purpose of this form? And the intended purpose primarily is for administrative reasons, such as promotions, demotions, and firing those employees who don't meet standards repeatedly. And also the developmental improvement of the employee, as we always strive to become better employees and better people next day with our customers. And so the developmental improvement is the secondary effect or purpose of this. And those are to, again, grow through the organization each year. And so that's important. This form will be evaluated the performance of the employee for the year as whole. Not going back 3 years. This is just a 1-year form. So that's important for supervisors to understand while they're conducting their feedback. So how do you use it? Well, one, the mission statement is right there for the human resources so that everyone is on the same page on why we're rating performance in relation to this goal. And then we have scale here, and these job expectations are explained through 1 through 5. 5 being outstanding, exceeds all expectations on a regular basis. Number 4 is above. Number 3 is meets most of them. Number 2 needs improvement. And then number 1, unsatisfactory, because they consistently do not meet standards. So supervisor evaluates these expectations. We're going to go through one of them here, which is a motivated employee. So is the raidee a motivated employee? And you should consider the willingness to perform duties and motivate colleagues. Both of those things should be considered when you're giving that rating of 1 through 5, okay, on your raidee. And also, you're going to provide words to describe an example of why they earned that rating. We don't want to just give them a rating without any supportive evidence, because nobody wants to hear how they did without understanding why they received that. That's important. Let's move on to the back here, and that is the supervisor's observations. So we went through earlier the subjective. Now we're going to go to the objective with clear behavior that you can mark during the year. And an example of the first one is project and task completion rate. So did that employee complete a majority of tasks on time or early? Then they would receive a 3, right? Number 2, they just completed most of the projects on time. Number 1, they did not complete a majority of the projects or tasks on time. So that decision is made by the supervisor, and then of course explained in words and writing on why they deserve that. Okay, very important that we always support, like I said, our evidence. Now moving on, you'll also do the second one there, which is process employee benefits and record management system. But you have the idea. So now we're going to go to this essay form or narrative where the supervisor will provide a written guidance on what are the opportunities for improvement that the employee should strive for from the view of the supervisor. And those behaviors should be stated so that it's very clear how they can improve. Now moving on to the bottom here, the career development plan. And so this portion, the raidee is going to send their information in and put out there what their goals are, so that what they want to learn in the future, what are their career interests, so that's a two-way conversation. All right. So now let's discuss a common rating error, and that is leniency error. Supervisors sometimes have a tend to rate their employees all very high and don't want to give that negative feedback. But it's very important that you're honest with your ratees so that the organization can benefit from feedback that makes people want to improve and have a reason to strive for better excellence in their work. Also, I want to share that how you can avoid that being honest, is by don't worry about being judged as a bad supervisor if not all your employees are rock stars, okay? So feel confident that you're viewed by the company as a supervisor is not going to receive reprisal for having some employees who aren't all rock stars. All right. And continuing on, we want to show that these suggestions are proven to help. And so these are some suggestions to increase the ratie's acceptance of the feedback. So according to the textbook Psychology and Work Perspectives on Industrial and Organizational Psychology by Truxillo, Barrow, and Ergdon, these appraisal meetings should be in private, not on the worker floor. And they should also be scheduled in advance, okay, so it's not just sprung on them. They should be using the sandwich technique, so you give a positive and then you give negative experience or observation, and then followed by another positive. You should also be using this career development plan, which we have learned great expectations from this and great feedback on how this helps a two-way conversation. It's not just a one-way conversation between the supervisor and the ratie, but a two-way conversation to build trust. We know this is proven, and this is written in a paper titled Making Things Happen Through Challenging Goals by Crossley, Cooper, and Werstinger in 2013. So altogether, here's the training for the tutorial. Thank you for joining us, and we're glad to have you go out there and have a great supervising appraisal meeting with your ratie. Thank you.